is the reason, we must explain whatever. Sometimes there is misunderstanding, and because of we are not communicating further, it goes on without no reason. So to my surprise, the moment they received my message, immediately they called me and told ki no, they said nothing. Said no, it is not like that. Something happened in our family, and we were having some discussions and this and that. So I said it is okay, Minka, but we are meeting such a long time. Never it happened like that. So therefore I asked if there is something, because we are also human being. If I did something without knowingly that hurt you, tell me that also, so that I don't make this mistake further and like that. So after calling, it is okay. But evening, the couple visited us, and that was the wonderful moment when they both came to our house. I felt so good even at this time. I'm feeling so happy within by this episode. So continuously, my heart really thank Guru Dev for bringing me in this system and making us evolve in this way. In other systems, if I'm not in this, definitely I know I'm not going to behave in this way. I felt very bad why they did. What was I did nothing like that. I am going to do for myself only thinking. So it was a very great experience. So thank you so much. Wonderful. Thank you.
I think this is the first time I'm seeing you smiling and happy. Otherwise, you are in very contained mode. Great. Sangeet ji, would you like to share your experience?
Yeah, last week I'm sorry I could not attend, but I'm still taking baby steps towards taking a pause and responding, and I have been successful. Let us say 75% of the time, 25% is still I have a long way to go. Also, I realized there are times when you just have to get angry. You're not angry from inside, like Master said. Sometimes you have to show your anger just to make the other person understand. But inside, you're not angry. But there was an instance when I had to do that, but that also disturbed me. That false anger which I had to at that time show for a certain thing, that earlier never used to bother me, कि ठीक है बोल दिया तो बोल दिया, उसको तो बोलना ही पड़ा, नहीं तो काम ही नहीं होता. But
Correct.
this time it disturbed me quite a bit, and then later on I made amends also in the manner that I said I had to get angry. I conveyed the message that I was not really angry, but because of your this thing, I had to do it because things were not moving. But then I had to sit down for cleaning, and I had to, this equilibrium of mind during false anger never used to be disturbed, but this time it disturbed. So I learned that even of speaking harsh words when you don't mean it also has to be avoided, whatever the circumstances, because now as we are moving forward by Master's grace, even these false words disturb our inner state. So that was a learning for me this week.
Right. Okay. So, last week, I had a very good week also. But after listening to Malti sister, I feel that some bad situation should come so that we can cross check, or our challenges can be push. We can we need to push ourselves to get bad situations. So, so many things are happening in me. I don't know why, because we have not read also, or maybe we have read, I don't remember. But I'm not getting affected. My overthinking has almost stopped. Means I used to get affected by small talks, and I used to member on my mind. So all this have gone, and I'm feeling quite lighter. I don't know how it went. Maybe I don't know. Means this neurology, but so many things have been improved. I'm not getting affected with the environment without without forcing. Means I'm not applying some extra forces to improve myself, but it is happening. So it is more of a wonderful journey. I have just heard so many quotes, you, है ना, that you should be stronger, then the environment, you should not get affected, you should be bounced back. But I did not know that how it happens. And in means in Google also there is no process that how you can bounce back. And still I'm bouncing back, and I don't know that how it is happening. How I was, why I was getting affected by things, why I was overthinking. But now I am not getting affected, now I am not overthinking. So it is more of a wonderful journey for me because I don't know how I am, improving without forcing, without applying on myself. Okay, so shall we go to the next phase, that is reading?
Yes, sister.
I'm sharing screen. This this is different than what we read last time. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, Malvika ji, would you like to read?
Yeah. Uh, Sister, it is the same article which is there in Truth Eternal.
I don't know the article which was sent last week.
Yes, it is the same one, LPOC.
So can I read from the book because I have not downloaded from the screen?
No
Yes, yes.
problem. I'm reading from the my screen only, because
Okay, but
there is some difference. There is little difference in the what we read last in HC and this.
No, no, this is LPOC from Truth Eternal. It is the same one.
Okay, okay,
ठीक
Malvika
है
ji,
आप
then you can start.
नहीं आप पढ़िए सिस्टर राशि कोई बात नहीं पढ़िए ना नो प्रॉब्लम
Okay, the principle of conversation.
या
Pujya Ramchandra of Fatehgarh, UP, India. The style of speech should be devoid of rise and fall in pitch. On the contrary, it should be like the divine current, flowing evenly since the beginning of creation. I had copied just that the innumerable are its benefits beyond the possibility of narration. This is a philosophy that when the flow of conversation proceeds in conformity with reality, there develops a state of harmony between the two. Through the harmony, the divine way starts developing automatically. This results in effectiveness as whatever is spoken goes on touching the heart of others. In other words, a sort of relationship with the current of reality is stabilized. When a relationship is created, effectiveness has to be there. If we copy it, only those words will flow during conversation that are intended and are right. To achieve this, we first of all try to remove the rise and fall in the voice while speaking, which is also called sharpness. This is flow of speech will go on acquiring harmony with the current of reality to the extent that such a reduction is achieved progressively. By sharpness, I do not only imply anger, which is very heavy and should not be allowed at all in this context. What I mean is that the flow of speech should not carry any kind of weight in it. An illustration of this is a current of still air. It is very difficult to achieve, but everything is possible through sustained effort and courage. If the grace of the Guru is there, The balanced condition of mind is an expression of the right attitude in all our activities. Under varied circumstances, in a broad sense, it is the reflection of our character. It has a deep impact and a favorable influence on those people who are associated with us. It reveals itself in conversation, which can be either serious and long or light and short. Such conversation is devoid of excitement or any high pitched emotional outburst and devoid of any rapid, short tempered, and moody reaction. It is a prompt, methodical, and civil expression of the self, and it is soft, cultured, and smooth, like the harmonious, decent, and divine grace. A person whose tongue is polite, civilized, and cultured has a large, pure, and noble heart, and thus has a wide sway over the mind of others. The pure heart, in communion with the base or the source, pours itself forth naturally with nobility, magnanimity, and love. It leaves an impression immediately and progressively makes deep inroads and stabilize itself in the minds of all. But ambiguity and indecisions are not to be encouraged. A civil tongue is a prerequisite to achieve the goal of human life. A cultured tongue rules the kingdom of the heart. A polished tongue in discourse or conversation influences humanity and reigns supreme. Anger is a poison to spirituality. Unless we are free from this plague, moderation can never be obtained. The effect of anger is that the system becomes heavy and tension is produced. There will be continuous pressure on thought. This human frail, frailty leads to loss of self-respect and individuality and result in unhappiness. This does not allow the free and subtle current to enter. In other words, it restrains the flow of divine grace. If anger if anger is overcome and a nasty and short temper is avoided, there is scope for attainment of a balanced condition of the mind. The greater the control over it, the freer and more bounteous is the celestial gift. Anybody of you want to read from here?
Yeah, I will read. It's a pity that this important and essential principle of the use of the tongue is in the inevitable and constant activity of a man is often overlooked and neglected. It is also unfortunate if the divine guru is held responsible for any lapse. It's no doubt very difficult to control the mind. To free ourselves from anger, we should think ourselves to be polite and humble. Nay, we should try to make ourselves such that the same color enters each and every part of the body. A cool and calm disposition alone is required for spirituality. The heart is so tender that it begins to droop even by the slightest circulation of wind. When we rise to some height, lowness is also within our sight to the same extent. This is a secret of nature. If, while remaining glued to the master, we make high advancement and yet feel low, is this not a state? The cause of this I have just stated. Our passion should be what is there is thine, and when it is thus, where is the occasion for regret?
Brother, may I request you to please read that feeling low line again?
Low line. Okay, sure.
Not understood it.
Yes. Uh, if while remaining glued to the master, we make high advancement and yet feel low, is this not a state? The cause of this I have just stated. Our passion should be whatever is there is thine, and when it is thus, where is the occasion for regret? We are satiated with something. When we are satiated with something, we no longer derive pleasure from it to the same degree as earlier. By and by, we come to treat it as something ordinary. Just this is to be known as the state of regret or the fallen condition. Apart from that, lying low is better than a perch up. Herein lives devotion, and therein rests the idea of perfection. What more then is this there for me to tell? When we have lost all sense of our own significance and are devoid of ego consciousness in any form, direct or indirect, then whatever we do will be just what we ought to be doing. This condition, if bestowed by God, is the best of all conditions. Everyone ought to try and arrive at it. The technique of developing softness is to create extreme humility in temperament so that it is filled with such a sentiment of love as to have no inclination to cause any hurt to anyone's heart, and the words are also such that as to not to hurt anyone's heart in the least. That yeah, that completes the material for today.
Brother, can anybody or anybody else kindly give some insight on that feeling low when you're high, when master has taken you to a certain stage and yet you are still feeling low? Can we share thoughts on that?
Actually, see, when we do a practice, we are progressing. You must be aware of the points and how we progress. With the practice, yes, we are progressing. But if the transformation is not there in character, you may have achieved, but it should come out. In that interiorization should also be visible outside. The transformation should happen. It is both together. People also think that okay, मैंने practice कर लिया, meditate कर लिया, I have reached a very high level. But if the ego has not, is not balanced, you will see them very arrogant, and you will come across people 20 साल से ये लोग practice कर रहे हैं, but you don't see the transformation. They may feel they have achieved, but what we are looking at is you have reached a high level, but if that visibility is not there in the character, the transformation is not there. So that difference is there. It should both go together, the progress. Only then you have achieved what the master wants us to achieve. At least that is what I have understood.
I would also like to say something here. Uh, I also feel that it is said no matter how high we reach, but we are always low to our master, मतलब who is the everything. Babuji has wrote many times that he never felt that though Lalaji Maharaj said that your lowest condition is the highest of the highest saint is present in that time, right? So there is one line followed that, and this I wish to read here. Said, when we rise to some height, lowness is also within our sight to the same extent. This is a secret of nature. And again, it is saying, if While remaining glued to the master, we make high advancement and yet feel low. We make high advancement and yet feel low. Is this not a state? So, what I feel that being insignificant, no matter where we are, that is what I understand with this. Thank you.
Uh, if I can, please tell me how relevant it is that
You're
when we
mute.
choose a. Okay,
You're
so
mute.
please, please let me know if it is little relevant that when we choose a lift to go from one floor to another floor, so we become little uh, insulated with the building, and then we reach to a new building. So maybe in the transferring force we become little we are insulated, and that time we can feel low, and it happens many times while practicing. There are some days when we feel we feel little low, and it is maybe a transferring phase. After that it get uh, normal. So when my first child born, so it was a means I was alone, and it was very difficult for me, and I thought, my god, मतलब क्या मुसीबत ही हो गया ये तो ऐसा करके. But means first 1 or 2 years were very difficult, and then I got that thumb rule. Somebody told me that one day cannot define your life. One bad day cannot define your life. And then I start observing and felt, yes, only means 2 or 3 days of the week was bad, and I'm sad for whole week because I'm failing 2 3 times. So that helped me observing things, and trying to recover myself, that no, only one bad incident cannot define your whole day experience. Bad.
Also, there is one more interpretation I would like to share. See, as we progress, we may reach at a certain point after practicing, but some action or something from our side, it could be anger or it could be any of those, it can bring our condition down. So we should never ever forget that you have come up to this point means that there is no like fall. So always be aware and conscious that even our actions should not bring us down. There is a valley down when you climb up. So that is what I also feel when he says like when you rise to a height, when you are at a particular height, there is a fall also. So we should be guarded. We should be more aware of our action, our speech. Anything can bring us down.
Yeah, that's why he's written at the end that ego consciousness has to go.
Yes.
In its place, humility has to enter, and humility has to enter each and every pore of our body. Only then we will succeed.
Mm.
Okay, thank you so much. I got it now.
Yeah. No, I fully agree with what Sanjit said. That is the crux of the thing. Yes.
Malvika ji, what thought comes in your mind while we were reading this?
No, I think I could relate this to the previous paragraph where Raji was talking about, Lalaji talks about anger, actually. So I think specifically for anger, and then of that's, what Sister Malti and all has said also. If I see with anger, especially if we are not careful, and so, and if we reach a particular height, naturally that ego thing comes. And if for any particular thing, for example, anger, that is a easiest tool that one takes, no, for anything. So that anger is something which can actually drop us down.
But
Somewhere in one of the Bhandara messages also, Taji has talked about anger and how spiritual curvature also comes. You know, if you remember somewhere, so he talks about that if we are not careful, uh, that down or that spiritual curvature can come because of our own attributes. Example, anger, which is a manifestation of our ego. So if we are not careful about that, uh, that fall can come. Even though we are in close contact with the master and we feel master's presence in everything around us at every moment, physically or mentally, with the heart, that little
Rajesh
thing
को बोलो,
can
Rajesh को.
bring us down. That was my take.
Shamaji, uh,
Yes, sister. I would partly that agree with that what Sister Anu said, na, that here in this paragraph, talking about lowness, even though you are glued with the master, it may be indicating a state because the state, what is mentioned there, na, isn't it a state? Uh, so perhaps it's a state of like insignificance or like keeping low. I think it helps us to be humble, keep remain humble also. That same thing now what sister was mentioning that ego should not or boast. Yeah. So to keep us grounded or humble, I think that also helps. But it may be indication that though we are advancing, but we are not like we should feel very great about that or ego should boost of our advancements. So this is, I think, balancing act. Like we feel low to maybe both things of it too.
I
I
think
agree with this also, that also. But I think it keeps us humble, at least, and grounded.
right.
I
Mm.
think when he's saying low, he's not referring to our mood or our
So it is
inner
referring to
thing.
mood.
When he's saying low, what he means is that we
Great.
should feel. It is a, I think, a word used for humbleness.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, no, no. It is for mode only that sometimes we feel, sometimes we feel sad without reason. Sometimes we are happy without reason. So I think it is related to that only. That even I am practicing good, I am following master, even though there are some times when I feel little same thing, little apart, or for some time happens.
I think that feel low means it is humility, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Even I feel that it's a state. It's
And
a
So feeling means humiliating. So means
see,
if
we make high advancement and yet feel low. That means we are making advancement, but at the same time you don't feel that. You have that humility to feel we are still that ego is removed, as
yes,
Sangeet rightly pointed out. That is what I think.
yeah, advanced people means they always are, always they behave humbly. Anuji,
I think if
Mataji,
we
would you
will.
like to add?
Pardon, sister?
Anuji, would you like to add anything?
Me, this is the only thing that no matter where you are, you feel insignificant. That is the key words for me. Be insignificant, no matter where you are. Because Master always says, whenever you feel great, it is very good, but always feel the other is greater than you. So there comes the same feeling with it. So I feel this, ki no matter, first we don't know how advanced we are. Actually, it's not that much we know. Even if sometimes come, oh, there is such a thing I am getting and benefit of it and that. But this feeling of being insignificant in front of this whole nature environment, this must remain there because the last line is saying here also, what more than this is there for me to tell? When we have lost all senses of our own significance and are devoid of ego consciousness in any form, direct or indirect, then whatever we do will be just what we ought to be doing. So, for me, I think in this way, yeah. Mm. Thank you.
Thank you, Anuji.
Thank you.
Malti ji?
Yes, it's very well explained by Anu's sister. It is what it is, insignificance. Be humility. Humility is the main issue. I mean, main thing here. Whatever we do, remain humble.
Okay, great. Okay.
Just one thing, one part. I know it is very true that we should feel insignificant, but very difficult also. However insignificant we may be, it is very difficult to feel insignificant.
Yes,
Yes,
actually,
yes, yes.
feeling insignificant for me, it is means I also feel insignificant, but when I get treated as insignificant, that is a little hurtful. So
Correct, correct, right
Yes,
answer,
very
right
so
correct,
that
sister.
is related to ego, what Malvika ji had said. So by heart, I know I am insignificant, but when I got treated, I feel bad.
Yes, sister, like Raji says, we are all human beings and we are striving for to reach there where we should be. So that is very normal. Don't worry about it. As long as we are
Yes, yes.
striving and we are working hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Lalaji is also said, it is no doubt very difficult to control the mind. He is also saying this. And we are abhyasi, means we are making abhyas practice, going towards. We do not reach. This is the infinite journey. But we have this literature which is telling us this what are the things we can come across and how we can develop. What I think. Suppose we were not in this system, we are not having this literature, we are not even aware of these things. What I sometimes feel. So therefore, I am always so grateful of this literature and our gurus. Right? We are all
Right.
practicing. Abhyasis are we, isn't it? So we have to
Yes,
accept
yes.
in this way.
Yes, sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is a tool for us. Heartfulness communication is one tool. See, there are so many things in our practice. Of course, meditation, cleaning, suggestions, all that. Even Hetzi is one of the tools which will help us to refine and reform ourselves. Like what Master wants is okay, we are practicing, it is progress is happening, but we also have to make an effort externally. So Hetzi is a good tool to make those changes, modifications in ourselves.
And I
Okay.
think, Sister Rashi, what you're feeling now, what you're meaning, I think it is just your need of respect and
Right.
recognition, isn't it? When
Right.
somebody
Of
feels
course.
us, yeah, yeah,
Of course. Yeah. So, that is related to ego. And expectation. We expect there is always one expectation comes.
Then you should practice your orphan act, sister. You should observe yourself. What is the feeling? Why is this need? And make a request. I want to be treated like
yeah,
this.
yeah. That's why that is the solution. Mhm.
No, no,
Uh,
no. We No, this cannot be happen. But actually, my feeling should be stopped, or if I will be means as I feel that my aura is also getting clean, and the response is also getting better. So when I will clean myself, so things will be changed automatically. Okay, so now let's go to the next uh, module, that is question answer. So we'll try to find one line answers of these four question what has given. Okay, so first question is, what was specially significant for you from LPOC? So that we have all discussed, right? Second question is, what is the intention, what is the intention or objective of LPOC?
as it was just pointed out, to
Single word.
to refine and reform ourselves.
Refine
refine and reform ourselves.
Anybody wants to add?
To remain humble, to create that extreme humility in temperament.
to to make our conversation na automatic the way Lalaji wants by just being in touch with reality means I feel it's internally connected within and having that state balanced state of mind. If we that maintain everything, okay, the intention of this, that is to achieve automatically our conversation, whatever the objectives of conversation is mentioned. That is definitely.
Yes, and there is one more line. The balanced condition of mind is an expression of the right attitude in all our activities under varied circumstances. The polite tongue means balanced mind under all circumstances.
Also, there is one line where it says that our speech is a reflection of character. So, the beginning of our HC program was that from the Abhyasi should be recognizable from far distance by the way they speak, by the way they conduct themselves. So I feel this is a step which Lalaji says, that this outward manifestation of your inner character, inner state. And what is the outward manifestation? The first thing is speech only. Mainly we are conversing with everybody. This is our tool of communication. So this should be of such a high order, such a high state that it doesn't, firstly, it reflects our inner state, and also it helps our state to improve further. And there is one line which says in it, I don't have actually the text, but somewhere it's Laraji has said that if you will follow these rules, these principles of conversation, then automatically your condition will improve. So this is also a tool to take us ahead in our spiritual journey.
Right. Next question is, what inner condition enable LPOC? Wait, low.
That is a balanced state of
In a meditative state, when you are connected with reality,
It's a balanced condition of mind.
balanced condition.
balanced condition of mind. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to add one more point. Here, it is very clearly said, point which was worth following. What I mean is that the flow of speech should not carry any kind of weight in it. When we speak, it should not carry the weight of anger, hatred, all those things. They should be removed from that speech. This is one thing which I found worth following.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
should not carry the
To
weight of our
fulfilling,
emotion.
yeah,
Yeah,
to proving our point, sometimes we pressurize some things. So that is
yeah,
that is sharpness, they mean to say. Okay. Outer behavior reflects by L. What outer behavior reflects LPOC? The same, the flow of speech was there.
Well, speech or body language.
Yeah, yeah. The second line only says, no, it should be like the divine current which has been flowing evenly since the beginning of creation,
Right.
that is how
Yeah.
our speech should be,
Yeah.
like a current of
Polite.
still air.
Intense meditative practice, an intense abhyasi we need to be.
A polite, cultured, and civil tongue
Yeah.
reflects LPOC.
Actually, the last paragraph says it so beautifully. Developing softness in our speech also. I think it takes care of no sharpness, rise and fall. If you see the softness part of it, it also gives a feel of humility also. The softness if you're using it, and it also shows the love. I mean, I think it is taking care of whatever Lalaji wants in his.
Okay. So now let's try to pick one or two aspects from the passage that have been discussed today and try to consciously integrate these into your life. Sincerely journal your efforts. So I'm taking humility, practicing humility, and sh- sharpness in tongue. I'll try to uh, reduce sharpness in speaking and humility.
I have taken the 2 points. In the flow of speech, it should not carry any weight. That is the weight of anger, rudeness, ego, etc. That I will practice. Second thing is a polite and civilized tongue. That is the hallmark of what the
Your
spiritual
voice
person
is not
according to.
clear.
Not just, yeah, okay. Now it's clear.
Yes, first I could not
First
hear.
is, yeah, yes. The first is the flow of speech should not carry any weight, such as anger, rudeness, ego, etc. That will be the one point that I will try to implement. Second is a polite and civilized tongue. That is a hallmark of our spiritual person from what Lalaji has said. So that we should. That I will try to. It's not easy. In the last 2 weeks, I tried many circumstances. Uh, it will come. That is what we are here.
Right. Anuji, anybody who have decided?
Yes, I will say there is a line which says, if you wish to be free yourself from anger, think yourself to be polite and humble. So I'll try to remind myself each day. I think after meditation, I do this, that I am polite and humble, so that this quality comes in me, because it is saying if you wish to free from anger, because anger does come. They are small, small things with your maid. Sometimes it is very difficult to go with, and small things, yeah. So I'm thinking now that after my meditation, I give this suggestion to myself that I am polite and humble and try to ingratiate in myself. And second, I am writing here right attitude in all our activities. So this also I give the suggestion to myself. Pray to Guru, my masters, kindly give me this attitude, this knowledge uh, that I am able to put my right attitude.
Correct.
These two things I have taken.
Correct.
Yes.
Sangeet ji?
Thank you. So I have decided that I am going to aim for evenness in tone when I speak with softness and humility. I'll try to practice this. And I liked Sister Anu's suggestion that in the morning only we will pray after our meditation, give ourselves this suggestion and pray to Master. So I'm sure. Then, of course, it will work.
Right. Malvika ji?
Yeah, so for me, I feel, or rather, I want to recall this AEIU condition at least more often during the day, so it will help me, yeah, to become more centered. And yeah, and so I want to get over this, habit of uh, uh, excitement and emotional outburst. Sometimes this happens, how much ever I try, wo apne apas mein, when we are with the family, it happens. So I just, when I look back, I want to take care of that also, so that also doesn't happen. So there is where I want to work upon. That is one thing. And again, yes, the feeling of humility, I want to go beyond words. So again, I would like to, I put it as a prayer at night before sleeping, to help I mean, master should help me to do that. So yes, that is my intent this week.
Shama ji?
Yes, sister. I would also like to pick up this speaking with the even tone, like that without rise and fall. That is what you call sharpness. So because that I observe, I do that. I while talking, it happens. And second thing is that I take conscious effort to remain connected within every conversation, because all that problem comes because of this. The moment we lose the connection, all that circuit breakers, everything comes. So I'll try like to do that. Yeah.
Malvika ji?
I said, I think it is Malti sister's turn now.
Yeah.
I've
Malti ji,
already said.
Malti ji? Sorry.
Yeah. So yes, one is to develop humility. See, this, though we say I want to develop humility, it is so difficult because last year we were reading volume 4 of Lalaji's work, and he was talking about this, like how it is important to progress in our journey. So my friend and I, who's in Abhyasi, we were both looking around how do we develop. So we were looking around people around us who are humble and what was the trait, and we went deeper looking into it, how heartfulness defines humility. Then finally यहाँ वहाँ से ढूंढ के निकाला. One is that it should be there should be sincerity, cheerfulness, and love for the master. So this is these are the steps where we go to develop humility. One, for this week, it is to develop humility, and second, to be polite and have a civilized tongue. Because I'm dealing with a lot of labor, it is very exasperating. So I have to, count and then think twice, take a pause, because when you're dealing with them and they have this attitude, being a woman, she doesn't know anything, to stress and be firm and get my work done is really draining me actually. But all this I need to put into practice.
Malti ji, what you said in humility, 3 points you said, no? What are the qualities?
Is sincerity, cheerfulness, and love for the master. When the ego, only when there is no ego, when the ego is in check, it leads to humility. All this leads to humility, acceptance, and generosity.
Right.
But I will check where that material is. If I can get it, I will share. There was, we had come across this in some book. Love for the master, when there is no ego, all this leads to humility, acceptance, and generosity. So you must be aware from our literature, like as we progress from heart region to mind region, generosity of the heart is required to go to the mind region. generosity, humility, acceptance. There are a lot of things I will
Will
share.
you write and send it to me? It will
Yeah,
take time to absorb.
yes, there's a lot of interesting things like that when we try.
You can post in the group.
Yeah, I do that.
All right. So, shall we conclude our meeting? Tomorrow we are meeting in the evening in Giraffe session.
Yeah.
Right? There are
Anything
so
to be
many
Yes.
articles in. Ji?
anything to be read for that session before we
No,
join?
no, what is that giraffe session? Can any material is available?
No,
Nothing
nothing,
I
there.
think
nothing is
Brazil,
available.
it was a part of our Hope program. See, I attended recently na in Kana.
Okay.
There
Okay.
also it was mentioned that giraffe.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So
No, if
I
any
think
material is there, you can
when,
share.
I
I think when
think
we
we have
read
got a
about
booklet. Something is
ancient,
mentioned over there. So I'll share if I try to find out and share if any link or
Please,
something is
please
there.
do, please do.
Yeah.
It will be more or like that. Are we going in the right direction, or if any group is lagging behind, maybe, or they will just add on something to make our conversation more effective. Maybe how much I understood, and I just saved so many giraffe sessions link in YouTube, so I'm going to listen them. You can also find in YouTube. There are so many short audiobooks on giraffe session and non-violent conversation.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, it is said that giraffe has the largest heart.
Yeah, yeah, that's what
That is,
giraffe.
they say giraffe has the largest heart.
Okay.
Therefore, this NVC they have connected with this symbol of giraffe. I have read somewhere. Just
Okay.
Yes,
recently.
yes.
More I don't know.
Exactly the same. Yeah,
I
yeah.
know only this that
Because
is
of his long neck, na, because of its a very long neck. So
the
in order
large,
to supply the blood
Okay.
to up to that level,
correct.
so their heart is at least more than 4 kg or something like
Yeah,
very
yeah,
big
largest
heart,
heart. Yeah.
largest heart of any animal. So that's what it represents that large heart, generosity. So
Yeah.
that symbol is given to
Heartful is
giraffe. Yeah.
communication.
Mhm.
Heartful. We are heartful in talking. So
Yes, yes, yes.
largest heart. Yeah, this I heard somewhere.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you,
It was a
sister.
very nice session.
Very nice.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much. Yeah.
Have a nice
Yes.
day.
Very
See you
nice.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Thank you.
Bye. See you.
Yes. Tomorrow.